this is a or B question. Do you view the attention economy as pressure or the exact opposite? Because while everyone is trying to get attention, they're probably not focused on you.
Mm, I think, I guess I would see it as, it depends on where you're looking at it from. Like, I think I would say sure pressure, in that like people are constantly paying attention to you. But I guess even from my, this is just maybe how I view my personal life. It's like I'm like people are just so focused on everybody else that I don't really care necessarily what I'm doing because they're focused on everybody. But I think a lot of like I guess society has conditioned us in a way where people do forget about you unless you're
Hmm.
right in front of them, they're right in front of your face all the time, and you have to be a little bit, I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but a little bit like narcissistic about yourself if you want to stand out online and get people's attention.
I do not disagree on that. Like if we were doing subway takes, I'd be like 100% agree. Tell me
Yeah.
more. Like healthy narcissism. Can we try? It's like, but I think you do
Yeah.
have to, and I think part of how I asked that question intentionally because I think part of how you view that is part of like how you're working in the space, right? And if you're doing a lot of experimentation and A/B testing of things, you're probably like, great, I can just build in the open because But I think when you are specifically, and why you were kind of thinking about that a little bit is it's because you are dealing in optimization. So you are acutely aware of people's attention. So it's like, yeah, okay, there's gonna be some pressure there, and I think that's sometimes it's interesting that we can look at a space that we're all playing in from different angles just because of how we're spending the most time in it.
Yeah, and I think that's the an interesting part for me too, is you talk about optimizations, is like oftentimes I get so in the weeds, so in depth about all these specific little pieces where I have to then like remember oftentimes like who I'm talking to at different times. Like for a creator who's been doing YouTube for years and they know how to make good thumbnails, they know how to make how to have good edits, how to have good story structure, how to like make good videos. It's a lot different talking to them about something of like, hey, let's try this tiny little optimization and see if there's a 1% difference in the click-through rate or in retention or whatever it is, versus you're talking to a newer up and coming creator, and it's like those little optimizations aren't going to necessarily move the needle massively for them. It's a lot of testing, it's a lot of experimentation, but the goal is to gain people's attention in some way through those optimization.
For sure. There's this common thread in creators that I've talked to on this pod where whether it be explicit or implicit, like what they talk about a lot is I don't even know if the content has to be the most perfect or the most visually appealing as long as it's repeatable. Like I think they need it to be something that they feel like they can constantly execute over and over and over again and it has an aesthetic.
Yes, and I would agree with that for the most part. My still fundamental philosophy is that like you have to be doing things that are novel to be able to stand out,
Yeah.
which is why like I often push back. I understand the outlier theory, and I'm a very data driven analytical person, so I understand it.